you sneeze, I'll probably say, bless you, and not even think about it. In the Bible, though, pronouncing the blessing of God is a serious business. In fact, it was the distinct privilege of the priests. In particular, the high priest, Aaron, was the one who would pronounce this divine blessing. Let's hear how the divine blessing is pronounced in Psalm 133. And as you hear this psalm, bring the imagery of the psalm to mind as it describes things. Psalm 133 from verse 1. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. It is like precious oil poured on the head, running down on the beard, running down on Aaron's beard, down on the collar of his robe. It is as if the dew of Hermon were falling on Mount Zion, for there the Lord bestows his blessing, even life forevermore. So the Lord bestows his blessing through the high priest Aaron. And that blessing is like oil poured on the head, running down to the body. The high priest was modeling to us the Lord Jesus. God's people dwelling together are like his body. And the oil, as throughout the whole Bible, represents the Spirit. So the Father blesses us by pouring out his Spirit onto his Son, and then that blessing overflows the head onto the body, Christ's people. So it is particularly Aaron who is commissioned to pronounce God's blessings on the people. He is the mediator of those spiritual blessings. And here is that famous instruction from Numbers chapter 6 about how the great high priest is to bless his people. Numbers chapter 6 from verse 22. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you, and make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them." To speak this blessing is to put God's name onto the people. Just as a bride takes the name of her husband, so God's people are united to the Son, and they share in his name, his blessings, and his protection. Did you notice how the one name of God here is proclaimed in a threefold movement? First, the Lord bless you and keep you. Here is the fountainhead, the foundation for all blessings. The word bless is not mentioned again in the blessing. It all comes from here, and it's secured here. The Lord will keep his people. And then secondly, the Lord make his face to shine on you and be gracious to you. Now we've seen the face of the Lord in a number of videos. It's a title for the Son of God. The blessing of the Lord involves revealing the radiance of God's face. This is grace. God's merciful initiative is expressed in this. He makes his face shine upon us. He makes Christ reveal himself to us. And then the third movement in the blessing, the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Here we have the gracious face not simply shining, but turned towards us. In this third movement, we receive our subjective feeling of peace. So the blessing flows out, comes through the shining face, and is enjoyed and experienced as peace when the face is turned towards us. Another way that you could say this is that God's blessing comes from the Father, through the Son, and by the Spirit. Here is the radiant character of the living God, shining out from the Father in the face of the Son. And as we appreciate the light of the world by the Spirit of God, so we too radiate. What a God. A fountain of blessing, a shining light, and a gracious peace. Today, may the peace-giving Spirit reveal to you again the radiant grace of Christ. Or in other words, God bless.